Hey guys, for this video we're going to compare a couple of right angle drill driver adapters. I have a DeWALT and I have a Milwaukee, and I want to show you some of the similarities and differences between the two to help you decide which one is better for you. Now, generally speaking, these things are amazingly useful getting into tight spaces, maybe inside a cabinet or between studs, anywhere where your drill or impact driver is just not going to fit. You slap this guy on top, and look, you just needed that much space before. Now all you need is this much space, and you just go to town. So both of these can be used with an impact driver, and they make right angle impact drivers, but unless you're a tradesman that needs that right angle every single day, that's a lot of money for a tool that you may not need very often, and these are obviously much cheaper than buying a whole cordless tool. So just generally speaking, these are incredibly useful to have around, and it is kind of nice to have one waiting on you instead of running into a project where now you got to go run out and pick one of these things up. So the DeWALT one is model DWARA120, and the Milwaukee is 48-32-2390. Now, if we take a look at these guys side by side, they are very similar in length here. If we rotate it over, well, it's not going to stay, hold on. The head on the Milwaukee is definitely much bigger, takes up more space. If we do a side profile and try and match up where the bit's going to sit, they're very, very close. This taper makes the Milwaukee look a little smaller, but very, very close. So physically in size, these things are very similar. The Milwaukee has a lot of plastic, where in the casing portion, the DeWALT has more metal to it. Now, also, if we look at using just a regular insert bit, see how the Phillips is sticking out there? With the DeWALT, when you stick that bit in there, it's going deep. I mean, look how deep that is. A screw, I got a Phillips screw there, still grabs on well, but it is really deep, and what I don't like about the insert bit is I can't get that out. So if you're using that style of bit on this DeWALT, you're messing with getting pliers or something to pull that thing out of there, whereas it sticks out far enough on the Milwaukee that you can just pull it out or push it in. That being said, if you don't have that tight of a spot where you need the little insert bit and you can fit a 2-inch bit, well, then that fits really easy, and you're still a lot less space than what an entire impact driver would take. And obviously you can use that in either one. And both of these are magnetic to hold the bit in place. One other difference, the DeWALT actually has a magnet right where the screw goes. If you're using a 2-inch bit, you're going to be too far away for that magnet to mean anything. But if you were using that insert bit, you can see without the bit at all, that magnet holds that screw in there. You're using this thing, you're probably in a tight space to begin with, so that's really helpful for holding your screw on nice and secure, especially if you're using a magnetic bit and then you also have this magnetic ring. That's a lot of magnetism to hold it in place, whereas the Milwaukee, you'd be relying on having a magnetic bit. Also, obviously, these can be used with more than just a drive bit. You could put a spade drill bit in there, nut drivers, hole saw, all sorts of things when you're in tight spaces. And one last note on the depth of how the bit sits. I put a Torx bit in there, a T25, and in that instance, it's difficult. Of course, now I can't. Never mind. I could definitely get it out when I first tried. Alright, there it is. Quick look at the Milwaukee and the DeWALT right angle attachments. Thanks for watching.